right, folks, welcome to Phoenix. Well, actually, it's Scottsdale. That's where we are staying, and as you can see...
You gotta love this. How do you not love this?
I'm sorry. You know what, folks? We're sorry about the weather. We're very sorry about the weather.
And you're not gonna feel bad for us when we leave tomorrow and we're heading to Denver and then Utah. So you know what? We're gonna soak this in and enjoy it while we can.
We do have the winter coats back in the closet in the hotel room, but something coming out of the closet tonight hopefully will be the Raptor defense at the start of the game. Jose Calderon said it in the last game, we can't continue to get behind and then come flying back against good teams like Phoenix, Denver, and Utah the rest of this trip. It's not going to work.
Well, and you know what? Especially with Jose Calderon, it's not one guy, it's a collective unit, but he's the one guy that's got to be the point of attack at the point guard position so often. You know, Calderon, admittedly, not a strong defender. We always talk about, though, Jonesy, he's not as bad as I think some people portray him to be, and I think he can be better and more consistent than he shows quite often. And maybe tonight against a guy who's a premier point guard in the league, but not exactly one of the most spry guys and one of the quickest guys around in Steve Nash, maybe that's something that Jose will do a better job defensively against Nash, and maybe can expose Nash on the other end as well, because there's another thing we talk about, the deceptive speed that Jose has. He might not win a race against somebody going, for the 100-yard dash, but you get him in the open court, if he gets a chance to turn the corner, he can get to the rim with the Ocho special that we talked about. He's got a deceptive first move, and I think he can be pretty quick, and maybe he can take that against Nash.
Yeah, and I think Jose, once his offense is going, it gets him into the game, and he seems to play better defense. You talk to the coaches, he does not chart out at the bottom of the defensive percentages when they do all the charts and the defensive coverages and being in the right spot and helping and all those things. Jose is not nearly close to the bottom.
And some of you might even be surprised based on some of the emails that come in and some of the folks out there that are just Jose haters. Some of you might be surprised at who's at the bottom of the list in terms of defensive rankings by the coaching staff and by the folks within the team.
And you're going to have to get that one out of us on the email and press us because we're not giving that up right now. All right, let's get to the Suns, Eric, a team that nobody really expected to be where they are right now. They kind of have faded into the background. People thought their championship window was closing, but it's back to the future. Nash leading the way, leading the NBA in assists, doing a terrific job running the break. Guys like Channing Frye shooting the ball well from distance, as is Jason Richardson. And all of a sudden, this Suns team is looking like a potential contender in the West.
And you think about the fact, Jonesy, that a lot of people say, well, this is an old team. Yeah, you know what? The key piece is old in Steve Nash and another key piece in Grant Hill. But when we talk about pro scouting, this is what we're talking about when you see a guy like Channing Frye. Right player, right time, right contract.
Right system.
Right system, exactly. And then you look at other guys. Jared Dudley coming in the deal with Richardson last year. A nice young piece that's fitting in well with this team. Then you get a guy like Earl Clark in the draft. You've got young players, Amundsen, that came into his own last year. They've got a solid 4 or 5 young players that are being brought along and playing key roles in this Suns team. So yes, the stars and the go-to studs are older, but they're doing a nice job cultivating some young people underneath.
And Steve Nash makes everybody better. Listen to this, folks. For the first time in 14 seasons, last year was the only time Grant Hill played in all 82 games. And look at his age and look how long he's been in the year. So things are going here in Phoenix. Things are rolling. They're fun to watch. Oh, by the way, the people that do the odds just across the way in Las Vegas have the over-under for points in this game at 230. You've got number 2 and number 4 in the NBA in scoring, Phoenix and Toronto respectively, going to go up and down tonight. Eric, maybe though for Toronto, without Hedo Turkoglu, he's still nursing that sore left hip, played in a lot of pain the other night against the Clippers. Antoine Wright also has a sore ankle. He played in pain, so it's a game-time decision as to whether those guys are going to go or not.
Yeah, both game-time decisions for those guys. Now, for what it's worth, our good buddy Doug Smith of the Toronto Star, he's put a number on it. He says 10% chance.
He's too close to Vegas. He's too close to Vegas.